Hello everyone, I'll be behind the camera on this one, so hopefully my slides are entertaining enough for you. It's been a pleasure taking this course with all of you. I really enjoyed being a part of your discussions and I'm grateful to have learned some new areas of this industry. For my aviation career research presentation I chose to do, I'm very passionate about the airline pilot, a career that will take you places. Why I chose the airline pilot? Family influence. I grew up with my dad being a missionary, so he was traveling via the airlines while I was young, which sparked my interest in aviation. My uncle also played a role because he was a corporate pilot. And I guess I just love the fascination of airplanes, of two people up front in the flight deck coordinating and controlling this large machine. And plus the views are incredible. I thank God every day for being able to see his creation from an aircraft. So what does it take to be an airline pilot? A lot of training. To become an airline pilot, you must attend a flight training school or college with a flight school. The first step you want to take is to obtain an aviation medical certificate. This is essentially a physical to make sure you are fit to fly. Next, one must complete the necessary ground and flight training for the private, instrument, commercial, and airline transport pilot certificate. Once you build the required flight time, which is usually 1,500 hours, there are exceptions to this rule, which I won't get into because it'll go too long. But once you obtain 1,500 hours, you can then apply at a regional airline. A 4-year degree is required for most major airlines. However, this requirement has been dropping to preferred on some airline websites. Just get your degree. Trust me. Lastly, I'd like to mention the importance of having a positive attitude and demeanor in this profession. I know that airline recruiters and interviewers will typically ask themselves after they speak with you if they would like to spend 4 days in the cockpit with you. So just thinking about just being a positive influence and having that professional kind of demeanor. By now, we have all heard of the pilot shortage. With the mandatory retirement age of 65 years old, a wave of airline pilots are forced to retire, creating a new need for aspiring pilots to have a chance at the airlines. The regional airlines are an excellent way to get your foot into the door and will equip you with the essential skills to succeed at a major airline. Another probable cause for the shortage is that airliners and airports are expanding to meet increasing travel demands. According to the Bureau of Transportation, U.S. air travel has increased by 19% from 2008 to 2017. This translates to about 150 million increase in passengers traveling within the United States. So this is all excellent news for pilots who are actively flying or who are planning on pursuing this career. This graph down here is just showing the escalating numbers of pilots that are retiring at the age of 65. And this next graph here is depicting the future commercial pilots to passenger travelers. So you can see the difference in the declining numbers of commercial pilots to the escalating projection line of U.S. passengers that are going to be traveling in the future. The next is, how are we overcoming this shortage? For one, the major airlines and regionals are hiring like hotcakes. Salary pay for regionals have substantially increased from previous years to attract pilots, and most regionals are now providing a hiring bonus, which you will be paid out after the completion of your training. Envoy, a subsidiary of American Airlines, has promised to provide a hiring bonus of $45,000 after the completion of your training. And this is advertised on their website, envoy.com. Whereas Compass Airlines, a regional of Delta and American, is offering $70,500. And this is sourced from their homepage at compassairline.com. To train these new pilots, many colleges and flight schools have built convenient flight school programs to provide pilots with the required training to pass their check rides and have a conditional job offer from a regional. Some colleges, like the University of North Dakota, are providing a SkyWest Airlines cadet program. According to aerospace.und.edu, this program guides the students with current information about all aspects of becoming a SkyWest pilot, and at the completion of their degree and training, they will receive a retained hire date and will be presented with a conditional offer of employment with SkyWest. Now, the major airlines are also helping with this shortage. Companies like Alaska are providing Horizon Airlines with what they call a pilot pathway program. These programs guarantee pilots upon their hire date at Horizon Airlines with a chance to interview at Alaska. That doesn't mean you're going to get the job, but you got an interview, which is big news. Now, the salary of a pilot can be substantial. Since there are different positions of a pilot, the first officer, captain, check airman, etc., and different airplane sizes, salaries vary quite dramatically. But for this presentation, I would like to compare the two salaries of a first officer at a regional and a major airline. At first officer at SkyWest Airlines on year one pay can expect to make about $36,000 a year, whereas a first officer at year one pay at Alaska will bring home close to $90,000. These are found on airlinepilotcentral.com. Now, just to give a comparison, a senior captain at a major airline, not including pilot bonuses, overtime, or any other variables, will easily make $270,000 a year. That was found on Glassdoor.com. So, good income. Things to consider before pursuing this career. Obviously, you're going to be away from home a lot. It's not your typical 9-to-5 weekly schedule, so you're not going to be coming every night for dinner. You're going to be on the road 3 to 4 days, out of the week. The willingness to move. A lot of airlines have different bases all around the United States, different cities that you're going to have to be based out of until you can gain seniority enough to get to a base where you'd like to be. You're going to work holidays. I think there's not much I can say about that, but again, once you work more in the company, you might get seniority to be able to bid holidays off. It does take an immense amount of dedication and determination and the cost of training. It's not for the faint of heart. This definitely, you're going to be taking out some loans. The benefits of an airline pilot, I would like to finish with the uplifting of this presentation. Traveling, obviously your job is traveling. Flight benefits with the airline that you're with, you get to travel free. It's rewarding. I never look at my job as work. I've been a pilot for about 10 years now. You're going to be a part of this excellent aviation community. The views, like I said earlier on, and it's just a privilege to fly a multi-million-dollar machine. Flight is just incredible. So, thank you guys. I'm not sure who this guy is here, but he's waving. And I appreciate everything that you guys have given for input on my discussion board posts. And it was a pleasure taking this class with you. The next 20 seconds, I'm just going to have my source pages up. So, thanks again, and Merry Christmas.